Aluminium die casting processes. There are a number of die casting processes as summarized in this figure. High-pressure die casting is the most widely used, representing about 50% of all light alloy casting production. Low-pressure die casting currently accounts for about 20% of production. Gravity die casting and squeeze casting account for the rest. High-pressure die casting is carried out using a large piece of equipment shown in this figure. It consists of two vertical platens on which bolsters are located which hold the die halves. One platen is fixed and the other can move so that the die can be opened and closed. A measured amount of metal is poured into the shot sleeve and then introduced into the mold cavity using a hydraulically driven piston. Once the metal has solidified, the die is opened and the casting removed. Low-pressure die casting differs in two significant ways. Firstly, the machine is vertically oriented, which gives a horizontal die parting line. The molten metal is held in a sealed vessel, which is then pressurized by gas, usually air, so that metal is displaced uphill into the die cavity. It leads to the controlled filling of the mold. This process is mainly used for producing automotive wheels. Gravity die casting is the simplest die casting process. It enables castings to be produced with only a very modest capital investment, although plenty of hard physical work is required. However, it can also be automated with either horizontally or vertically parted dies. Good quality castings can be produced if sufficient care is taken to design running and gating systems which minimize surface turbulence in the metal as it flows into the die. Squeeze casting is considered a high-integrity process and has emerged as an alternative to conventional casting techniques: gravity permanent mold, low-pressure permanent mold, sand casting, and forging. Squeeze casting builds on conventional, high-pressure, high-velocity die casting practices and has been widely used to manufacture aluminium automotive components requiring high impact strength, high fatigue strength, and pressure tightness or wear resistance. This figure shows a typical horizontal-vertical squeeze cast machine. In the squeeze casting process, degassed and filtered molten metal is ladled into a vertical shot sleeve and slowly forced into a preheated and lubricated die cavity at a speed slower than that used for conventional die casting. Solidification of metal then occurs under a continuous application of pressure. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.